Hello, I'm Lee and welcome to iMineBlocks. Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to mine Grin using a GPU miner. So this is a miner, it's available for AMD and Nvidia GPUs and it's also for Windows. So you guys have been asking for those things and this video encompasses all of those things that you've been asking for. So just to let you know beforehand, the miner requirements are quite high. You're going to need a GPU with at least 8 gigabytes of memory. So you need like an RX 580 or higher, or a GTX 980 Ti or 1070 and higher. So there are the requirements. I'm going to be using this miner for the very first time in this video. I'll show you a screen capture of the whole process. I've used it previously on Linux and it worked well, got good performance. The machine that I'm using has a GTX 1080 Ti, so that's what I'm going to be using for testing. And I'll show you a few of the other performance characteristics that we're going to be getting. So I'm going to jump over to the screen capture now and I'm going to share all of that with you. Okay, so on screen, let's get started. So the miner that I'm going to be using is this Moz Comor and it's the GrinGoldMiner. So I'll link to the official GitHub link for you. So there's a little bit of information regarding it. It says that it obviously can be used for AMD and Nvidia 8GB cards and higher. It says for the RTX cards, if you have that series, you need to use it on Linux or Windows 7. It doesn't work on Windows 10. If you're running multiple cards or high spec cards, you need quite a good CPU as well. It's quite intensive on the CPU, so bear that in mind especially if you're running a multi-card system. There is also a 2% fee in total for this miner. 1% goes to the developer and 1% goes to the mining fund. So that's it there. So we go to releases and then we need to download this Floornet Beta 2 and we're going to be downloading the Windows 64 version. It says it requires .NET Core 2.2. I'm pretty sure I've already got that, but let's download that as well. And then if we go to our downloads folder, I'll run the .NET Core runtime first, just to make sure I have got it. So just agree and install. So that .NET has installed. Go to our downloads folder. Finish with the browser for the time being. So it's this ggm_floornet. So we just need to extract that. I'll extract that here, and then we'll find the folder. Actually, we'll go and redo that again. I swear, every time I extract it, like here, it always gets put like all the raw files, and every time I extract it to a an actual folder location, it always gets put in like 5 folders deep or something. So extract it to the folder. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the Readme. That's always good practice. So it says run GrinGoldMiner CLI and follow the on-screen instructions. So that's pretty much the same as it was for Linux. So we've got the GrinGoldMiner CLI, so we're going to double click and run that. It's a Windows Defender, so we're going to run anyway. Just make this window a little bit bigger, be a bit easier for you guys to read. Okay, so it says no config file found. It will be generated now. So this is the same I had with Linux. So it's found one suitable device. So you can see here, detected my Nvidia graphics card. And so what it's asking us is to choose a pool. So I've already used the MW Grin pool previously. You don't have to create an account. the account is kind of created through this process effectively. So we choose number 2 for MW Grin pool, and it says enter your email or pool login. So with the MW Grin pool, it doesn't have a email address. It just asks you for a username, and that's what whatever one you create. So I'm going to choose iMine Blocks GPU, and then we need to choose a unique password. So I'm going to do that as well. So I can't type very well because I've got this huge microphone in front of the keyboard. Enter our password. So now it's created a config file. So there's config.xml, and that's got your various configuration information there. So now if you press Control and C to kind of close that part. If you go back to the folder, now if you run the miner again, you can see that we've got this config XML file. So that's got our configuration in there now. So now if you run the miner again, this time it should start using that configuration file and it should be up and running. So just give it a couple of seconds to settle down. Okay, and it's up and running. So you can see on the top left hand side, we've got 4 submitted shares. So you can see it's online, and we've got the GTX 1080 Ti, and we're currently mining at 4.2 graphs per second. So that's slightly slower than with my Linux installation. With the Linux version, I think it was about 4.3, something like that. And using the other Grin miner, it was about 4.5. So slightly less performance using the Windows installation. It's also worth noticing that some of the benchmarks that I've seen for AMD cards are significantly slower. So it's worth considering that as well. Just taking a look, for you guys' reference, the drivers that I'm using, I think it's 417.35, and I'm just using the stock clocks and stock core, and also the memory clocks. So there's obviously quite a bit of optimization that we can do for this card. I'm not too sure if it showed you the power usage. When I tested it on my on the Linux system, the graphics card was using about 250 watts. So it's probably a very similar story for this setup. It says that the yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the power draw as well. So that's fluctuating between sort of 80 and 90%. So it's pretty much using most of the card. So there will be obviously some optimization and stuff that we can do from here. At the moment, I'm not too sure whether this algorithm is more core or memory intensive. I'll do some further testing and we can kind of find out. One other thing that I sort of show you, I just wanted to kind of see the CPU load as well. So I thought I had it on this list, which is the temperature. Let me just show you. So in this machine, I've got an i5 6600K. It says there it's 3.5, but it's actually running at 4.4 gigahertz. Sorry, 4.5 gigahertz, should I say? And we're at about half load. So if you have a older machine, yeah, you might notice some bottlenecking. I'm also using obviously the on-screen recorder as well, so that obviously takes quite a bit of CPU load itself, but it's just an observation that some of the other guys had. Just to very quickly show you the pool information. So if we go to the pool, so it's nwgrinpool.com. And if we go to miner stats, so the username is the same one that we just used for the miner. So it's iMine Blocks GPU, and then our password. Yeah, so from the miner stats dashboard, you can see a little bit more information. I've obviously only been mining just for a very brief period of time, but you should see that this picks up. So you've got this C29 graph rate. So this is going to pick up your average workload over time. So at the moment it's running at like 2.93. I expect after 10 minutes it will become more normalized, and you'll see it kind of a better reflection of your work in comparison to the miner itself. So it says that we're getting 4.23 within the miner. So your hash rate will build up over time, and you can go from there. One other thing was the payments. A lot of you guys have been asking payments. I'm going to do a completely separate video for the payments, because it's quite an involved process. It's not just a standard thing. But from here, there's kind of a few different ways that you can arrange your payments, and it shows you your payment amount. This keeps on resetting because obviously we're only on testnet at the moment. So I'm not too sure exactly what the earnings stuff are going to be, but this will be how you can set your payments. Okay, so that's it for this video. Like I say, it's quite quick and easy and fairly focused. Let me know in the comments area what your performance benchmarks are. I'd love to sort of see what the AMD guys are getting versus the Nvidia guys. Let me know what your specs are and what your performance is, and then we can use that as a benchmark kind of going forward. It'd be interesting to see when this project goes live, exactly what results everyone's going to be getting and who's going to have the best cards and all that sort of stuff. So let me know all that information in the comments. So that's it for this one. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.